Have you been feeling tired for no clear reason, even after a full night's sleep, with heavy digestion, brain fog, or low energy that just won't go away? What if some of those signals are coming from a liver that's simply doing too much for too long without enough support? Your liver is one of the hardest working organs in your body. Every single day, it filters your blood, processes nutrients, regulates fats and sugars, breaks down medications, and helps remove waste products. It never takes a break. And unlike trendy detox claims, there is no quick cleanse that magically fixes it overnight. But here's the truth backed by real science. The foods you eat every day can either reduce the burden on your liver or quietly add to its workload. Modern life puts constant pressure on liver function. Highly processed foods, excess sugar, refined carbohydrates, alcohol, environmental chemicals, and even long-term use of certain medications all require the liver to work harder. Over time, this stress can affect how efficiently the liver performs its natural detoxification processes. When that happens, people often notice subtle signs like low energy, sluggish digestion, abdominal discomfort, or difficulty maintaining a healthy weight. These are not dramatic symptoms, but they are meaningful signals. Now, it's important to be clear and responsible. The liver already knows how to clean itself. It does not need extreme detoxes, starvation, or harsh supplements. What it needs is the right nutritional environment. Certain foods provide compounds that support liver enzymes, protect liver cells from oxidative stress, and help the body eliminate waste more efficiently through natural pathways like bile production and digestion. This is not opinion. This is supported by decades of nutritional and metabolic research. When people hear the word clean, they often imagine flushing toxins out instantly. That's not how the body works. Supporting the liver means giving it nutrients that allow it to function at its best over time. Antioxidants help neutralize free radicals that can damage liver cells. Fiber supports healthy digestion and waste removal, reducing the recycling of toxins. Natural plant compounds can activate enzymes involved in detoxification pathways. Even hydration and healthy fats play a role in bile flow, which is essential for eliminating fat-soluble waste. In this video, you're going to learn about foods that are consistently supported by scientific evidence for liver health. These are not exotic ingredients or miracle cures. They are everyday foods that have been studied for their effects on liver enzymes, inflammation, fat metabolism, and cellular protection. When used regularly and correctly, they help reduce liver stress and support its natural ability to recover and regenerate. Here's the reward for staying until the end. By the time you finish this video, you'll know exactly which foods support liver function, why they work, and how they fit into a realistic, sustainable lifestyle. No extremes, no fear tactics, just practical, evidence-based guidance you can actually use. Many people notice better digestion, more stable energy, and improved overall well-being when they consistently support their liver through nutrition. If your goal is to feel lighter, clearer, and more energized without falling for false promises, you're in the right place. Let's start by understanding how food can become a powerful ally for a tired, overworked liver, and why small daily choices make a real difference over time. As we move deeper into this, it helps to understand why the liver can start feeling overwhelmed in the first place. This isn't about failure or disease in most people, it's about constant demand. Your liver is responsible for managing almost everything that enters your bloodstream. Every meal, every drink, every medication, every chemical exposure, and even hormones produced inside your own body must pass through this system to be processed, transformed, stored, or eliminated. One of the liver's main jobs is to regulate energy. It stores glucose as glycogen and releases it when your blood sugar drops. When your diet is high in refined sugars and processed carbohydrates, this system becomes strained. Excess sugar doesn't just raise blood glucose, it gets converted into fat in the liver through a well-documented metabolic process. Over time, this can interfere with normal liver function and make energy regulation less efficient, leaving you feeling tired and sluggish even when you eat enough. Another major responsibility of the liver is fat metabolism. It produces bile, a substance essential for digesting fats and absorbing fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. When liver function slows, bile flow can become less efficient. This may show up as bloating after meals, discomfort after fatty foods, or irregular digestion. These are common experiences, and they're often signs that the liver is under more pressure than it should be. The liver also plays a critical role in neutralizing substances that could be harmful if left unchecked. This includes alcohol, environmental pollutants, and the byproducts of normal metabolism. Even prescription medications, when taken correctly, must be processed by liver enzymes. This is why long-term medication use, combined with poor dietary habits, can gradually increase liver workload. The liver adapts, but adaptation has limits. Inflammation is another piece of the puzzle. Chronic low-grade inflammation, often driven by poor diet, excess body fat, and insulin resistance, can affect liver cells directly. Scientific research shows that inflammatory signaling interferes with normal detoxification pathways and reduces the liver's ability to regenerate efficiently. This doesn't happen overnight. It builds quietly, which is why many people don't connect their daily habits with how they feel months or years later. What makes the liver unique is its ability to repair itself. Liver cells can regenerate when conditions improve, but regeneration requires raw materials. It requires adequate protein, antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, and healthy fats. Without these, the liver is forced to function in survival mode, prioritizing immediate demands over long-term repair. This is where food choices begin to matter more than most people realize. There is also the gut-liver connection, which science has made very clear. Everything absorbed from the digestive tract flows directly to the liver through the portal vein. When digestion is poor, or when the gut barrier is compromised, more unwanted substances reach the liver. Fiber-rich foods help reduce this burden by binding waste and supporting healthy gut bacteria. This reduces the amount of work the liver must do to manage toxins that should have left the body through digestion. Another overlooked factor is oxidative stress. Normal metabolism creates free radicals, which are unstable molecules that can damage cells if not neutralized. The liver is especially vulnerable because of its high metabolic activity. Antioxidant compounds from food help protect liver cells from this damage. This protection allows liver enzymes to function more efficiently and reduces the long-term wear and tear that comes from constant exposure to metabolic byproducts. Hydration also plays a role. Blood volume, circulation, and bile consistency all depend on adequate water intake. When dehydration is present, detoxification processes become less efficient. This doesn't mean excessive water intake, but consistent hydration supports the liver's ability to move waste products toward elimination rather than allowing them to recirculate. It's important to understand that supporting the liver is not about doing more. It's about removing unnecessary stress and providing what the liver needs to do its job well. When that balance is restored, many people notice clearer thinking, steadier energy, improved digestion, and a general sense that their body is working with them instead of against them. This is why the focus now shifts to specific foods. Not because they cleanse the liver by force, but because they provide measurable support to the processes that keep the liver resilient, efficient, and capable of healing over time. How foods support liver function. Food supports liver function in ways that are steady, measurable, and deeply rooted in human physiology. The liver does not respond to shock tactics, it responds to signals. Those signals come from nutrients that influence enzyme activity, cellular repair, inflammation control, and the movement of waste out of the body. When the right nutrients arrive consistently, the liver shifts from a stressed state into a more efficient and balanced one. One of the most important roles food plays is supplying the building blocks the liver needs to maintain and regenerate its cells. Liver cells are highly active and require adequate protein to repair damaged structures and create detoxification enzymes. Without enough quality protein, the liver prioritizes survival tasks and delays repair. This is why long term poor nutrition can slow liver recovery, even in people who avoid alcohol and toxins. Antioxidants are another key factor. The liver's detoxification processes naturally produce reactive byproducts. These molecules can damage liver cells if they are not neutralized. Antioxidants from food help stabilize these byproducts, reducing oxidative stress and protecting the integrity of liver tissue. This protective effect has been observed in both clinical and population based research, showing better liver enzyme balance in diets rich in antioxidant containing foods. Certain plant compounds also activate liver enzymes involved in detoxification pathways. These enzymes help convert substances into forms that can be safely eliminated through bile or urine. This is a natural, built-in system. Food does not force detoxification. It supports the enzymes that already exist. When these pathways function smoothly, the liver works more efficiently and with less strain. Fiber plays a role that is often underestimated. While fiber is not absorbed, its impact on the liver is indirect and powerful. Fiber supports healthy digestion and regular elimination. This reduces the reabsorption of waste products that would otherwise return to the liver for reprocessing. Research consistently shows that higher fiber intake is associated with improved metabolic markers that reduce liver workload, including better blood sugar regulation and improved lipid balance. Healthy fats are also essential. The liver produces bile to help digest fats, and bile flow is one of the main routes for removing fat-soluble waste. Diets that completely avoid fats can actually impair bile production. On the other hand, moderate intake of healthy fats supports normal bile flow and helps prevent stagnation. This balance is crucial for maintaining efficient digestion and waste removal. Micronutrients such as vitamins and minerals quietly support liver function every day. Certain vitamins act as cofactors for liver enzymes, meaning those enzymes cannot function properly without them. Minerals help regulate fluid balance, antioxidant defenses, and cellular signaling. When micronutrient intake is consistently low, liver efficiency declines gradually, even if calorie intake is adequate. Another important effect of supportive foods is their influence on inflammation. Chronic low-grade inflammation places a constant burden on the liver. Many whole foods contain compounds that help regulate inflammatory signaling in the body. By reducing unnecessary inflammation, these foods allow the liver to focus on essential metabolic tasks rather than constantly managing inflammatory stress. Blood sugar regulation is also closely tied to liver health. The liver plays a central role in maintaining stable glucose levels. Diets that cause frequent blood sugar spikes force the liver to convert excess glucose into fat. Over time, this process can interfere with normal liver metabolism. Foods that slow digestion and stabilize blood sugar reduce this burden, helping the liver maintain balance without overcompensation. Hydration works alongside nutrition. Adequate fluid intake supports circulation, allowing nutrients to reach the liver efficiently and waste products to be transported away. Proper hydration also helps maintain bile consistency, which is important for smooth elimination. This doesn't require extreme water intake, just steady and sufficient hydration throughout the day. What matters most is consistency. The liver does not respond dramatically to a single meal. It responds to patterns. Repeated exposure to supportive nutrients creates an environment where liver cells can function optimally, repair damage, and adapt to stress more effectively. Over time, this leads to improvements that people often describe as better energy, improved digestion, and a clearer sense of well-being. The idea that food can support the liver is not based on tradition or belief. It is based on measurable effects on enzymes, metabolic pathways, and cellular health. When the liver receives the nutrients it needs and is spared unnecessary stress, it does what it has always been designed to do. The 10 liver-supporting foods. When you look at foods that consistently show benefits for liver health, a clear pattern emerges. These foods are not extreme or unusual. They are rich in natural compounds that support detoxification enzymes, reduce oxidative stress, improve bile flow, and lower inflammation. They work because they align with how the liver actually functions, not because they promise unrealistic results. Leafy green vegetables stand out because they support bile production and provide chlorophyll and antioxidants that help neutralize harmful substances before they place extra demand on the liver. Regular intake of greens has been associated with improved metabolic health and better regulation of fat and sugar, both of which directly reduce liver stress. They also support healthy digestion, which lowers the amount of waste the liver must reprocess. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, and cabbage contain sulfur-based compounds that have been shown to support liver enzyme activity involved in detoxification pathways. These compounds help the liver convert substances into forms that can be safely eliminated. Research has consistently linked these vegetables to improved antioxidant defenses and reduced markers of liver strain when consumed regularly. Garlic provides natural sulfur compounds that support detoxification enzymes and antioxidant systems within the liver. It has been studied for its ability to support healthy cholesterol metabolism and reduce oxidative stress. These effects indirectly protect the liver by reducing fat accumulation and inflammation, both of which interfere with normal liver function. Beets support liver health through compounds that help regulate inflammation and oxidative stress. They also support bile flow, which is essential for removing waste products. Beet compounds have been shown to influence liver enzymes involved in detoxification and fat metabolism, making them a valuable addition to a liver-supportive diet. Citrus fruits contribute vitamin C and plant compounds that support antioxidant defenses. These nutrients help protect liver cells from oxidative damage while supporting normal enzyme activity. Citrus fruits also support hydration and digestion, which further reduces liver workload when consumed as part of a balanced diet. Avocados provide healthy fats that support bile production and nutrient absorption. They also contain compounds that support antioxidant activity and lipid balance. Research suggests that diets including healthy monounsaturated fats are associated with better liver enzyme profiles and reduced fat accumulation in the liver when compared to diets high in refined carbohydrates. Olive oil, when used in moderation, supports healthy fat metabolism and reduces inflammatory signaling. It has been associated with improved insulin sensitivity and better lipid profiles, both of which reduce liver strain. Its role in supporting bile flow also contributes to efficient waste elimination through the digestive system. Green tea contains natural compounds called catechins that have been studied for their antioxidant and metabolic effects. These compounds help protect liver cells from oxidative stress and support normal fat metabolism. Moderate consumption has been associated with improved liver enzyme balance in multiple observational studies. Coffee has one of the strongest bodies of evidence supporting liver health when consumed in moderation. Research consistently shows that regular coffee intake is associated with lower risk of liver fibrosis and improved liver enzyme levels. These effects are linked to compounds that support antioxidant defenses and reduce inflammation, independent of caffeine alone. Turmeric provides curcumin, a compound studied for its ability to regulate inflammation and oxidative stress. When used appropriately and absorbed effectively, curcumin supports cellular protection pathways in the liver. This does not mean high-dose supplementation is necessary or appropriate for everyone, but culinary use has been associated with supportive effects in balanced diets. What all of these foods share is not a dramatic cleansing action, but a supportive role. They reduce the workload placed on the liver while providing nutrients that allow liver cells to function efficiently. None of these foods work in isolation. Their benefits are amplified when they are part of an overall pattern that limits excess sugar, refined carbohydrates, and unnecessary chemical exposure. Another important point is that these foods support the liver without forcing it. They do not override natural processes. They enhance what the liver already does well when given the right conditions. This is why their effects are sustainable and supported by long term research rather than short term trends. Many people expect immediate changes, but the liver responds gradually. Improvements in digestion, energy levels, and metabolic balance often occur over weeks and months of consistent intake. This timeline reflects true physiological adaptation, not temporary stimulation. The goal is not perfection, it is direction. Shifting daily food choices toward ingredients that support liver function reduces stress on the body and allows natural repair mechanisms to work more effectively. Over time, this creates a foundation for better health that extends far beyond the liver itself. How to use these foods safely. Knowing which foods support the liver is only part of the equation. How those foods are used matters just as much. The liver responds best to steady, realistic habits, not extremes. One of the most common mistakes people make is trying to do too much too fast. Large quantities, aggressive cleanses, or sudden dietary overhauls can actually increase stress on the liver instead of reducing it. Portion size is important. Even healthy foods place a metabolic demand on the body. The goal is not to overload the system, but to nourish it consistently. For example, healthy fats support bile flow, but excessive fat intake in a single meal can still challenge digestion and liver processing. Balance allows the liver to work efficiently without being overwhelmed. Consistency always beats intensity. The liver adapts to patterns over time. Including supportive foods daily or several times a week is far more effective than consuming large amounts occasionally. Research on dietary patterns consistently shows that long-term habits influence liver enzymes, inflammation markers, and fat metabolism more than short-term interventions. Preparation methods also matter. Overcooking vegetables can reduce beneficial compounds, while deep frying adds oxidized fats that increase liver workload. Gentle cooking methods like steaming, light sautéing, or eating certain foods raw when appropriate help preserve nutrients without introducing unnecessary stressors. Using stable oils and avoiding burned or heavily processed foods further protects liver cells from oxidative damage. Another key factor is what you reduce, not just what you add. Supporting the liver means lowering exposure to substances that increase its workload. Excess added sugar forces the liver to convert glucose into fat, which interferes with normal metabolism. Refined carbohydrates spike blood sugar quickly, increasing insulin demand and liver fat production. Limiting these allows the supportive foods to do their job more effectively. Alcohol deserves special mention. The liver can process small amounts, but regular or excessive intake significantly increases oxidative stress and inflammation. Even when supportive foods are included, alcohol can counteract many of their benefits. Reducing alcohol intake is one of the most evidence-based ways to immediately lower liver strain and allow recovery processes to begin. Hydration supports everything the liver does. Adequate fluid intake helps maintain blood flow to the liver and supports bile movement through the digestive tract. Dehydration thickens bile and slows waste elimination. This does not require extreme water consumption, just regular intake spread throughout the day, adjusted for activity level and climate. Protein quality also plays a role in safety and effectiveness. The liver needs amino acids to build enzymes and repair tissue, but excessive protein from highly processed sources can increase metabolic byproducts. Balanced intake from whole food sources supports liver repair without unnecessary waste production. This balance becomes especially important for people with existing liver conditions who should follow medical guidance. It's also important to recognize individual differences. Certain medical conditions, medications, or metabolic disorders can change how the liver responds to specific foods. For example, some people need to be cautious with concentrated herbal compounds or supplements that claim liver benefits. Whole foods are generally safer because they deliver nutrients in balanced amounts rather than pharmacological doses. Turmeric is a good example. while culinary amounts are widely considered safe for most people. High dose supplements may interact with medications or affect bile flow in sensitive individuals. Using spices as part of cooking rather than relying on extracts reduces risk while still offering benefits. Coffee and green tea, while supported by research, should still be consumed in moderation. Excessive caffeine intake can affect sleep, stress hormones, and hydration, all of which indirectly influence liver health. The goal is supportive intake, not dependence. Another overlooked aspect is timing. Large meals late at night can increase liver workload when the body is primed for rest and repair. Allowing enough time between the last meal and sleep supports metabolic balance and gives the liver a chance to focus on maintenance tasks rather than continuous processing. No single food can compensate for poor lifestyle habits. Physical activity improves insulin sensitivity and fat metabolism, directly reducing liver fat accumulation. Adequate sleep regulates hormones that influence appetite, inflammation, and glucose control. When these factors align, the liver responds more effectively to nutritional support. Safety comes from simplicity. Whole foods, moderate portions, consistent habits, and reduced exposure to known stressors create an environment where the liver can do what it does best. The liver does not need to be forced. It needs to be supported. When these foods are used wisely and combined with healthy daily habits, they become powerful tools for long-term liver resilience. Over time, the body often signals this improvement through better energy, clearer digestion, and a greater sense of balance that extends beyond the liver itself. Closing and credibility boost. When everything you've heard comes together, the message becomes very clear. The liver is not fragile, but it is responsive. It reacts to how you live, what you eat, how you rest, and how much unnecessary stress you place on it. When people struggle with low energy, poor digestion, or a constant feeling of heaviness, the liver is often working harder than it needs to. Supporting it is not about trends or shortcuts. It is about respecting how the body is designed to function. What makes this approach credible is that it aligns with established physiology. The liver filters blood, regulates metabolism, produces bile, manages hormones, and neutralizes waste. These processes depend on nutrients, hydration, and balanced energy intake. When those needs are met consistently, liver cells are better protected from oxidative damage, inflammation is reduced, and detoxification pathways operate more efficiently. This is not theory. These mechanisms have been studied repeatedly across nutritional science, metabolism, and clinical research. Another important point is that the liver has an extraordinary capacity to recover. Few organs can regenerate the way the liver does. When stress is reduced and supportive inputs increase, liver tissue adapts. Enzyme function improves.